Nautilus setup, or even the Flag and Dragon Aatrox, which has a lot of damage themselves. But you do kind of need to wait a little bit for these team fights to where Orianna hits 6, she has an item and a half, and you can actually try and play for some of these objectives, because Orianna kind of in the similar boat to Azir, where they just need that little bit of time to scale before they actually become relevant in these fights.
I feel like in the early game, if you've got like a carry jungler, Orianna can be fantastic because you've got the shield, you've got the speed up, you've got a bit of CC with your ult. But in terms of actually bringing the damage yourself, you're really lackluster until, like you say, a couple of those items come on in. We'll see how this one's going to go, though. Game number 3 here between CFO and Team Wales. And honestly, Team Wales on the cusp of making it into the qualification match, on the cusp of making it to a series that could get them into the Swiss stage of Worlds 2023, a team that nobody even expected to get past BDS, but here they are in Game 3 now against CFO, against a team that again is a high seed in the tournament, is expected to do well here in play-ins, but Team Wales keep on defying expectations. You could say that they're grinding with a view of the Gloryy.
Well, they already have a Gloryy, so you know what? All they need to do is just keep the grind going, try and push CFO out of the equation. But again, don't forget, whoever loses this series will go up against the loser of BDS and the winner of BDS and DFM. But at the moment, they have no idea they've been caught up behind them.
We don't, ShiauC. Gonna tank a bit of damage. The hook from Bia is not great. Walks into damage, but luckily, not a whole lot to be brought to the table at level 1 from CFO here once ShiauC's CC is on cooldown. That's kind of your lot from this comp. So Bia does walk away with his life. No summoners burned.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that ShiauC was the only one with CC and he'd already used that on towards Artemis means that they're able to step away. So at the moment, Gemini able to move back in towards his own jungle, will be able to pick that one up, and nothing really burnt on either side. So the only thing is with ShiauC taking that Q in the early stages, it does make it a little bit more difficult for him to try and play up in this lane. An awful lot of the time, it's kind of like, oh, I get hooked by Nautilus, let me try and take the W in to try and counteract some of that engage, or even tank the hook and then WA to get the shield for the follow-up damage. But not having that at the early stages may leave an opportunity for Bid to maybe make a play on level 1.
We'll see if they can look for some kind of level 1 shenanigans. I don't know if it's something that we'll go for or not. It's been game number 2, extremely quiet. Game number 1, though, CFO really took things into their own hands. You can see, though, with this draft, you're very much leaning towards the late game with an Azir, with a Xayah alongside it. But with Rest and Gemini, that combo can definitely find some power in that early game. So wouldn't be too surprised to see something up towards the top side of the map, especially with opposite passing from BeanJ. If Sparda steps too far forward, Gemini could certainly look for a chance.
Yeah, and I mean, especially when you're looking towards Rest and Sparda, this is such a back and forth matchup. And very much a case of, if you can get the early snowball rolling, well, you're going to hit your Gore Drinker quicker, you're going to just have more opportunity to heal back up and then swing the matchup very quickly in your favor. So I think a lot of this is going to be a case of, cool, let's try and get top lane in their favor and then start to move down towards that bottom side. I think Gloryy and JimieN, honestly, just kind of going to be left to their own devices. There's no real setup until you get to level 6 to try and make any sort of early plays happen.
That said, Gloryy could be in a little bit of trouble here. Gemini on the top side of the lane, ShiauC on the bottom side of the lane. Flash immediately, but it's followed by 19 flashes on the other side. Gemini with first blood.
So close, Gloryy, being able to step that one back, but ShiauC just barely able to get into range with the Q to get that kill. Nicely done by CFO, and as I said, I thought they would just kind of leave this mid lane to their own devices, but they really want to try and get JimieN into a good spot here.
Such a great start, and a really nice timed roam from ShiauC as well, saying like, look, my AD carry's resetting, he's going to get a cull off of the crashing that third wave, I've got time on my hands, might as well make a play. Good coordination as BeanJ tries to get out to ShiauC, but he'll hop over.
And at this stage, it's like, well, there's not really much for BeanJ to try and achieve on this bottom side. Gemini is on the top end, finishing off his level 4. Nice interrupts. Not going to mean too much, because you can see at the moment BeanJ doesn't really have anything on the map. It's just his top side that's just going to be spawning in just about 30 seconds. So he'll be able to get back towards that big wave crashing on this bot side. But Shunn and ShiauC should be able to pick up.
You know, cancelling the reset doesn't mean a lot in the grand scheme of the game, but it does in terms of the mental warfare. Just trying to tilt them just a little bit. Rest, get some damage down onto Sparda. Gemini moves in. He knows that the Tri-Brush is warded. Wants to try and get cheeky with it, but has been spotted, and will just continue to finish off that reset. In the meantime, BeanJ is in that top side as well.
BA trying to turn around that play earlier. Now, JimieN, I'm not sure how much mana he has. I don't know if he should just have enough for WE over the wall.
Yeah. Actually popped a cookie there as well to make sure that he can walk away. Really wanted to stick around. He's just hammering autos out from Bia there, just taking damage.
Yeah, I think he was like, can I just get away with this? Because if you don't have to use the E is such a massive amount of your mana pool in the early stages for the Azir. So trying to see if you get away with it and be a bit cheeky, but has to use it in the end regardless. So resets, TPs back into lane. The big thing that I want to point out though is that on the initial play that we had in mid lane, it was ShiauC and Gloryy who burnt the flash. Gemini still has his up and available. So if I'm looking at like a level 6 that's about to be hit off this next wave that's coming into mid lane, I'm thinking Gemini, like just going towards mid, you have the flash onto Gloryy, have the follow-up coming through from JimieN, and you've got a nice little setup there. We can try and continue to punish Gloryy in that mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they managed to get the kill is a bonus, but the fact that it was ShiauC's flash to guarantee this kill, instead of it having to be Gemini flashing, does mean, like you say, they can repunish this, they can revisit. Like a great little sort of sequenced play there from CFO. Like you say, I'd love to see it again.
And this is where, now, they won't be able to do it off of this wave just because you can see the wave has crashed. So you're just going to be waiting a little bit as these waves kind of push themselves back out into favor of CFO. But where Gemini's position on the map at the moment, see BeanJ is like very nervous about what this Vi is going to be up to. Wants to be in position to counteract it. He believes Gemini's gone bot. Might be correct.
It's good hook. Here trying to block for his support as the feathers come back in, but ShiauC's gone already. It's a kill going over to be a great little combo. 2 successful ganks now, 1 on each side.
And I'm surprised it ended up working because you can see the vision that's in position there for CFO. They've already got the one ward here. They got just there. They got a second one that's just in the back of that as well. So you've actually got a good amount of vision to spot out where BeanJ is, but end up giving over the kill anyway.
Great stuff coming out. Team Wales finding a chance to punish, and putting Shunn behind early would certainly be valuable. He's still going to survive. Luckily for them, it was ShiauC that went down, so doesn't fall behind on CS, does manage to, in fact, stay exactly even in CS, but has that call, so ever so slight minor advantage in the bottom lane for Shunn in terms of the CSing, but obviously the assist for Artemis there. So decent start from both teams. Let's talk big picture then. Let's talk next few minutes of the game, because I do feel like, you know, with the mid laners we've got, with the AD carries we've got, we're anticipating a fairly slow one, but when it comes to the junglers and solo laners, there's more space for action.
We just get a quick replay here. ShiauC getting caught out, had to burn the W on the flag and drag, had no flash from that earlier play in mid. And you can see Gemini was hovering around bot side, but just wasn't quick enough to get to that bottom lane. But as you say, I think solo lane's now starting to be the target of attack. As Rift Herald up in 25 seconds, it is hovering in towards bot side river. Didn't spot ShiauC, as ShiauC's hiding in this brush, but again, I think it's kind of a case of I want to try and cover on this mid lane push for JimieN, make sure he doesn't burn a flash or anything before this Rift Herald comes.
I will say, decent vision coverage for CFO. A couple of wards in the river around Herald, 1 over towards the chickens as well, but not much deep vision, and 0 vision whatsoever from Team Wales. So Gemini going to be happy to start this one off as Artemis has swapped up towards this top side. Shunn still in the bottom lane here. Looks like he's not going to go for plates though. He's going to make a beeline now across the map.
You've already got a ton of priority here. Artemis is going to be here quick. BeanJ has level 6, trying to see if he can set this one up.
JimieN's still in the mid lane as ShiauC flashes out and then jumps back into the Cataclysm, but he's low on HP himself. That's BeanJ down. ShiauC traded. There's Bia in the middle of everyone, but everybody stacking up. Shunn's finally arrived, but it's too little too late. Gemini's gone down already, and Sparda happy to tank up for his team. The Aatrox charging forwards, but Shunn in the meantime is getting damaged down, and JimieN protects his top laner. We reset for a second, but it's 2 for 1.
The fact that you end up with Gemini going down late means that BeanJ going to be out here faster. They should be able to turn this over, but again, Shunn, little bit too late to the party. Artemis had already been in a position to try and follow that one up, so he's perfectly fine to set up the fight with the numbers advantage for Team Wales.
Hook comes in, it's onto the mid lane, but the W hit a minion. So there's no follow-up there from Artemis. He didn't have his ultimate, but the damage alone might have been enough. JimieN walks out with his life, and this will be a singular plate to Shunn if he can just get 1 or 2 in.
Yeah, it looks like Team Wales, though, not actually... I thought they were just going to start Rift Herald to take it as the 4-man squad. Knowing Gemini would be late, BeanJ comes in, they smite it, all is well and good. You get to cover the mid play, and then you'll be in a position to follow up, but not actually going for it. And now, with Artemis going low in the mid lane and have to reset thanks to Shunn and JimieN, it's actually going to be CFO who pick up that Rift Herald on the top side. response should come through from BeanJ, where he'll roam over to try and push in boss, get some vision control for this dragon. But we'll see here, like, look at where Artemis is in the map. He's already coming into this fight, so even though ShiauC flashes, misses the Q because it's a bit of a trade of positions, but still they get the kill. It's just they've more in the tank here for Team Wales as Sparda starts to come in as well. They turn themselves onto rest, Gemini ends up falling, and this is kind of what I was talking about, where JimieN and Shunn, they've a ton of opportunities to keep themselves safe from Team Wales on the back line and trying to continue these fights forward, like keep themselves at bay. But unfortunately, there's just not enough damage at the moment from the Azir or from the Xayah to try and carry that one back.
And it feels like there's a little disjointed from CFO, right? The fact that Shunn's not there yet, JimieN's not there yet, and you're already starting to fight, it's not ideal from their side. Just put them a dramatic gold lead of 200 for Team Wales at this point. But they are going to be able to start off this Drake, as you mentioned, off the back of the tempo, off the back of the Herald being taken from CFO. Team Wales are able to get vision control of the area. Will be able to secure themselves their first Drake of the game. Will be a cloud taken here, which means Soul is open to be Mountain this time around.
That would be fairly nice for either side to pick up. Ooh, Artemis. Already getting caught out by ShiauC, not quite able to get the Q to hit, but CFO stepping forward now. They see that they've already got pressure onto this bottom side thanks to the wave. Should be able to pick up a play for themselves. And with Rift Herald in tow, they're trying to make something happen. But there's a lot of members of Team Wales here, even with Gloryy starting to roam down towards that bottom side to keep CFO off the turns.
It's going to be down to BeanJ now, trying to track Gemini. Make sure that he doesn't get free entrance into any of these lanes. The plate's still up for another 3 minutes time, so they've got time to use that Herald, and in fact, just going to slam it down towards this mid lane instead. JimieN, I don't know if he managed to get a hit on it. Doesn't look like it. So I think all of that gold just going over to Gemini.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate. I think they wanted to try and get as much of that gold in towards Shunn, and if you can even get that bot lane tower down, it opens up ShiauC to continue making these plays because you can push in boss. BA has to be careful about, like, is Artemis going to be safe from ShiauC and Shunn? But not going to be the case. Either way, Shunn will pick up another play for himself. So a lot of gold going across into CFO off that play. And with the Divine Sunder on the way for Gemini, he should still be very happy with the fact he's picking up this early gold.
Rest trying to find a 1v1 here onto Sparda. He's a level up at this point in the game. Sparda realizing, trying to back away here, but if he can land his Qs, perhaps could turn it around. Q3 available, and Rest knows it. Steps backward, dodges that one out.
Yeah, you can see the difference in items there. You've got the Iron Spike whip already completed. Oh, hang on.
Oh, big combo down in the bottom side. The root comes in, and it's... I mean, there's really not a lot you can do against a Vi, is there? The ultimate comes in, the feathers follow it up. Beautifully done. And a kill into Shunn's pocket.
And also, bot lane tower, more than likely, or at least some of these plates on bot lane tower, going to go over, because it's just the Nautilus that's underneath this tower to try and keep it safe. You can see ShiauC covering a potential play on mid lane, but as soon as they realize that it's Bay underneath this tower, I'm not sure if they want to try and commit for a bit more, but yeah, it looks like they'll be happy with just another plate going across the Shunn.
But like, Shunn just got a plate earlier on. I think there's 3 plates, and I'm pretty sure he's got all 3 of them solo at this point. His cull is now finished. He got the kill off of that play. Shunn is quietly stacking up a lot of gold, and when you've got this Xayah, it's going to be valuable. ShiauC, nice little sidestep there. He'll be totally okay. And then bold enough to walk him through the river back into the lane.
Yeah, it's just like, well, BeanJ is here. I can spot him the whole way through, but I don't know how heavily they want to try and commit. But with the jungler now gone, and Orianna on the way, this might have been a mistake from CFO.
The recall being channeled by Shunn. He's like, I'm sorry, ShiauC, you're on your own, pal, but he can clear the way.
I think they weren't sure if JimieN had just gone for the reset, so potential like full mythic item coming into the TP play on bot lane could have been a disaster if Team Wales had gone for it. So with JimieN not in vision, they're like, look, we're just going to call this one quits. They also didn't know that Gemini had full reset, so they decided to back away instead. But I like that we're getting this from Team Wales. Like, one of the big things that we talked about was how slow Team Wales were, that they weren't really trying to play aggressive or really trying to set up for plays. But at least coming into Worlds, they've actually been trying to make plays happen. It's just unfortunate that CFO are a bit a step ahead of them on this one, where Gemini in the bush to easily pick off Artemis as he steps up.
Yeah, very nice execution on it, using the ult first to then follow up with the Q knock up to then follow up with the feathers, not allowing any time or space for counterplay from Artemis. So excellent execution there from CFO, and that's the value of the Vi. That's what you bring to the table. I mean, we were talking about sneakily building up a gold lead for Shunn. He's over 1,000 gold ahead.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane, the lane economy. But we're going to have to see if he can try and push that one forward. I think Shunn definitely in position. I believe he's finished his Kraken Slayer now completed, so should be in a position where he actually is a major threat even to people like BeanJ as well. And the safety in these fights between the Emperor's Divide and also having his ultimate is going to make it very difficult for Team Wales to get access to him. You're really hoping that BeanJ basically gets the Flag and Drag into Cataclysm, lock him up in place just long enough that Glory's then able to follow up with the Shockwave, because otherwise I don't know how you're going to have access to it.
I'm just desperate to see like the Wombo combo. I feel like Orianna's back in the meta. We have so much opportunity for like really flashy combos where the Jarvan flies in from the side, the Shockwave on him as he flies in. Then you got Artemis flying into the back like Sparda with the Q. Like, there's so much chance to see these incredible big explosions.
My biggest worry is that like that combo starts off, you're like slow motion, they run in, and next thing Shunn goes up in the air, and Jarvan kind of just looks as the Xayah leaves off into the heavens, and then this wall slams into his face from the Azir and says, no, not today, and the entire planet's ruined. Because that's what I actually am worried about if he tries to make these big plays.
So they even do the combo, the dust settles and you realise it was all just onto ShiauC. And then suddenly the rest of CFO turned up.
The poor Rel. The horse deserved better.
The thing is, he had Aftershock on, so he's actually still on half HP. Yeah. Here we go. Harold's kicked off, though. Team Wales looking for it this time as CFO. They've respected it now. They've moved in. JimieN not quite there just yet. He's just moving up to the tier 1 in the mid lane. 3k on the Herald. It's almost out of patience. And there we go. It does reset. So Team Wales not quite able to finish it off in time. Does mean we have an opportunity for a 5v5.
Yeah, a bit of a split call here, though. Like, you've got Rest and Gemini who are trying to play for the Rift Herald, but it means that ShiauC and JimieN can't really play into position, so Team Wales start to push forward and are kind of keeping a lot of these guys at bay.
Hooking onto ShiauC here. They're trying to get the Rel, and he doesn't get anything off before he goes down. Lot of feathers down, but the Shockwave! That's the combo we're talking about. JimieN with the wall, though, can kind of carry this fight. Gemini trying to move in, and Sparda's taken down, and JimieN outplays everyone. It's beautiful on the Azir. The soldier's doing the work as Gemini looks for a little bit more. Oh, and he gets it, the final punch. The power gauntlets come through.
That's a 1-inch punch I've ever seen one. Just barely able to clip him as he walks away. And off the back of that as well, like, Rift Herald went down, nobody's picked it up. And also now Dragon going across the CFO, and they'll get the mid lane tower. So it's the fight, the kills onto the carries, and the objectives to boot as well.
Fantastic stuff. JimieN also getting solo gold on that mid lane tower. He is huge. We were talking about Shunn picking up gold. JimieN is now 3-0-2 off the back of that fight. He is monstrous on the Azir.
The Leandri's Anguish already completed. He's going to be very quickly working up towards that Nashor's Tooth as well. It's going to mean he's an absolute menace in those fights. But as you said, like, both mid laners having their moments in that fight. Big shockwave from Gloryy, and for Shunn, he went down, but JimieN was able to carry that fight on the get-go. So really, really good stuff from either mid laner in that fight.
BeanJ managed to grab that one for himself, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take another look, because this was a bit of a hectic fight.
Yeah, I think this was the right call from Wales. Turn on to ShiauC, try and get him out of the equation. And as Shunn starts to move forward here, the shockwave into the big slam down from Sparda. But then JimieN immediately responds, kills off Gloryy, the flash forward to get away from the knockup. But JimieN now
gets a knockback onto BeanJ and dodges the shockwave. JimieN! He's on another level today. BeanJ has to go underneath the tower. He's so low at this point. JimieN, does he have the damage to finish off the job? And the Q cooldown comes in to bite him.
The Gore Drinker giving that health across as well. He just couldn't quite get it. As you say, the nerf coming into play. JimieN didn't quite have that cooldown to get the Q, to get the damage that he needed. But big win for Team Wales. 4 kills now onto Gloryy thanks to that play.
Massive play and so close for JimieN. Like, you've got to say he played it immaculately. The ultimate, dodging away from the shockwave, very nicely done. But unfortunately not quite enough to keep himself alive. We're now 7-7 on the scoreboard, and we got a bit of a bagger on our hands, Dagda.
And you can see here, right, JimieN, this is what we're talking about. As BeanJ goes in, great wall, and as the shockwave goes off, he dodges away. He wants to clear out the minions, and has to move forward out of range to keep the minions out of range of the tower. But it means that when BeanJ goes for the ultimate, he actually is just barely outside of the range, and can't get BeanJ underneath the tower to finish him off. So Nashor's Tooth, though, now completed for JimieN. Also, look at Glory's build. He's just finished off that Archangel staff, or not the Archangel staff, the tier
Seraph's Embrace.
Seraph's Embrace, thank you. Where he's now in a position where he's actually going to be terrifying on those 3 items. Like going for that full damage build that takes a little bit longer to come online, but because he's got those 4 kills, he's actually able to go for it.
And you can see in our win probability powered by AWS that, like, even though Gloryy is starting to get strong in his own right, like the Xayah and the Azir having these items being strong in their own right lends a lot of power towards CFO. Having that extra Drake, having a 3k gold lead overall, it is feeling positive for CFO. Team Wales by no means out of the game just yet, but still a very comfortable position for the side of the PCS.
Yeah, I think it is going to come down to the fact as well, like 2 dragons already picked up by CFO, a potential second mountain dragon going into the hands of CFO is going to make them so much tankier, where that burst damage from the Aatrox, the Jarv and the Orianna isn't going to mean as much. So I think for CFO, trying to focus on towards this next dragon is going to be a big win. It's in 2 minutes time. Starting to get a little bit of... I thought that was they actually started the Baron. I was like, what the hell?
I'm just amazed that in total gold, Shunn, JimieN and Gloryy are almost exactly even. 3 carries at the top of the game. It's not often you see that. Shunn could be in trouble. Doesn't get the pullback on his feathers, but managed to walk away from Sparda. He's okay. Like you say, Baron on the map. Team Wales know about it, trying to clear some vision.
But I like what Team Wales are going for. Hey, can we get a ult burn? Can't we get a flash? Can we get something burnt onto Shunn to make it that bit easier to focus him in a team fight? Because already JimieN with the wall, having a flash, even the opportunity to just swoop himself out of there makes it very difficult to lock him down. Couldn't quite get it, but I like that Team Wales are being proactive, because this is very different from what we saw from them yesterday. Like, they kind of just sat back and let the game happen around them. Yeah. This time they're like, hey, how do we try and get into the fight? How can we try and find little advantages that we can push forward?
That's the nice thing, is it does feel like we're witnessing Team Wales improving across the course of these 2 series. And the fact that they get 6 games of stage experience, especially when, we've been talking about earlier, Artemis being a rookie, every single game is so valuable for this team. Sparda doing his combo in the wrong direction. I think he was just trying to get ready for Q3 there, but won't be able to find the crab for himself. But Team Wales, it does feel like they're improving. It does feel like they're getting better on the team. And ultimately, this is still a very even game. They're still on the cusp of making it to that qualification series, to potentially getting into the Swiss stage of Worlds.
Yeah, which would be absolutely incredible. Honestly, for both these sides, again, CFO looking to join their PCS brethren as the #1 seed from either group, a statement to be made by the PCS region. But for Team Wales, first time at the international stage, VCS #2 representative, potentially picking up the 2nd ever best of series win for the #2 in the VCS would be absolutely incredible.
Do you know what's just dawned on me? If Team Wales wins this one, then CFO wins their lower bracket game. We get CFO versus PSG for one of our qualification games. We get a rematch of the PCS finals.
That went to 5 games as well, but may not get that chance as Team Wales. Stepping forward, taking a burn. Gemini looking to see if he can get onto Gloryy, pick him off before this fight kicks off.
Break up on the map right now, and CFO know it. They'd love to get themselves onto Soul Point, but ShiauC finds a way in, finds great damage. Pierre forced out of the fight already. Artemis has to ult defensively, but chased across the map here. Problem is, they don't have the damage to follow it up. It's 1-for-1 so far. Rest wants a little bit more of it. But that was Gemini that went down. That means they can't safely take the Drake.
And it's for a support and return. You'll take that as Team Wales. Now, flashes burnt galore on towards Team Wales. So you don't really have that opportunity to try and contest this once more. Because again, JimieN can still go in. You've got flashes on towards rest. They could try and turn it, but they're going to turn for the Baron instead.
TP onto the Baron. The rest of the team making a beeline right now. The resets are coming on through. I've not seen a single blue ping on the Baron pit just yet. This is sneaky Team Wales. I mean, I've never seen a stealthy whale before in my life, but I'm witnessing it here. They're underneath the waves. They've been spotted, but it's too late. Baron stolen away.
Absolutely amazing call from Team Wales. BeanJ, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That doesn't count. You're still going to be able to hop out. But the fact that you managed to sneak that one away, CFO completely caught with their pants down. Even Sparda shows a mid lane, so they don't think it's happening. But ShiauC, fantastic engage here. The setup is there, but Shunn, too short range to auto attack up the wall. JimieN is the only one that can get in position. And Artemis being able to reposition helps you a good bit here, because it means that you do end up bringing the Vi with you, but you are able to get the turn immediately from BeanJ as well to again keep Artemis safe by the space where Shunn and JimieN just can't quite follow up because the fight had teetered so far away from them.
The battle between Gloryy and JimieN continues here. Both of them doing massive damage, and Gloryy has slowly but surely been keeping that goal coming in. 5 kills now. 2 items finished, almost 3.
Is this a bot lane brawl? Like, the amount of people that are starting to move down here. BeanJ hopping over the wall, will spot out Gemini, and immediately has to try and back away. I think both teams reading exactly what they wanted to try to achieve there.
Trying to take the tier 1, and actually worth mentioning, Team Wales, they've got a Baron. They haven't taken a single tier 1 on the map just yet, so they've got plenty of standing gold to take, but CFO reading where they wanted to go and denying.
But that's how they win games. If Ender has taught me anything from the analyst desk, when Team Wales doesn't take top lane tower, that's when they win the game. So as long as they stay away from top lane and focus on bot side, that's how they're going to win.
If just one top lane tier 1 being alive was enough for them to win the first game, surely all 3 tier 1s triples the amount of power that gives them. Wait,
it's a hypothesis we have to test. Gloryy getting TP'd on. BeanJ here in position. Gloryy, they know you're there, bud.
Yeah, he's going to get ulted. JimieN's on the way as well. I don't think you need to use the Azir ult. They'll be able to just finish this one off. Gloryy trying to buy as much time as he can, but they all sidestep. A big old sombrero there. JimieN does take a chunk for their troubles, but still a pick for the side of CFO.
The entirety of CFO able to dance around the hat, make sure they're not getting caught in that. And now Artemis trying to respond in mid as they will get the push going. Sparda as well. I mean, the fact that you managed to get potentially 2 towers off this for a pick, you're kind of happy with that.
It's been found. So, like you say, 2 tier 1s taken across the map here. Shunn pushing out the top side, but he doesn't feel safe enough to really step up to that tier 2. It's too dangerous. You don't know where everyone else is. Sparda using his ultimate to try and get away. Gemini does not have his ult available to chase it.
Still, like, I think you're happy as that as Team Wales. Like, look, obviously it sucks that that Gloryy went down, but the fact you're getting 2 towers out of that equation, like all outer turrets are now down, and you can start to set up the vision control that you want, play for the likes of the dragon. Now, it is like, this is their Baron buff. Like, this is kind of starting to dwindle down a little bit, and you can see from the results that, like, CFO, just off that last play, their win expectancy powered by AWS has gone down a little bit, despite the fact that they were the ones making the aggressive play.
It does feel like they do still have that advantage. It's not mince our words, but like you say, it's incremental, and that's what Team Wales need at this point.
I think the big one that I need to see now is for CFO to go, right, this is our dragon. Minute time, we need to start getting control of the map. Already you can see Gemini and Shunn stepping up together. They're aware that they need to try and get control over this mid lane, but eventually they have to try and draft that vision in towards the bottom side of the map. Get deep vision so that they can spot out where Gloryy is, where BeanJ is. Give the opportunity for them to set up a front 2 back. That means that JimieN is safe, Shunn is safe, and there's no real issues, because at the moment their vision is so shallow. Like, they barely have it in river. And it means that it's very easy for BeanJ to hover on pinks like this. And if Shunn steps up, they blow his flash, they blow his ultimate, and then now you're in a position where Bay can then follow up with his ultimate. Target Shunn, set up for that dive potential that Team Wales have.
I'm just going to clear the way. I was watching BeanJ to see if he'd try and make anything happen, but Drake up in 30 seconds. And Team Wales, they know how important this is. You can see they've got good vision control, river control, and fighting for priority in the mid lane. It's tougher with the Azir Sundisk there to block them a little bit further. Rest fighting for Prio 2. CFO, they would love to get in here and contest the Drake, but it's difficult to move in. That said, ShiauC disagrees. Everybody dives into the back line as Shunn trying to get the damage down, but they've gone too deep. The rest of the team couldn't follow. Sparda zoning everyone, and now Rest is alone on the front line. That's one though, making it 3v4. Rest turns golden as the feathers come down. Rest escapes with his life, and Sparda has to flee as well. Somehow CFO with only 3 keeping alive.
BeanJ is a goddamn hero. He goes in with the Cataclysm the second ShiauC goes from the engage. So ShiauC, Gemini, everyone dives forward, and he locks JimieN in place. He locks Rest in place and denies CFO the opportunity to follow up on ShiauC's engage. That play from BeanJ may have just held on to the game for them. Watch it here. ShiauC gets rid of the Banshees, goes to the engage, and BeanJ immediately ults onto the top side, stops JimieN following up, who doesn't get over the wall. Rest can follow up, and Team Wales get to regroup, set themselves up again, and follow through after dealing with the 2 divers on the backline.
Phenomenal. Shunn doing a really good job of stopping the then follow-up from Team Wales. If he doesn't ult there, if he doesn't have those feathers available to threaten, That could have gone disastrously wrong. I will just quickly point out 3 items on both mid laners. Gloryy going slightly more defensive and has that needlessly large rod on top. Whereas JimieN, he's got pure damage and has a stopwatch. Baron coming up onto the map in 10 seconds time.
I mean, this is such a crucial objective. Gloryy is on bot side, has TP to get up, but again, like, only Gloryy has no flash, and Sparda has no flash coming in onto Team Wells. We'll have to check in a second what the summoner spells are like, but the damage, you can see it's JimieN not against Gloryy anymore. Sparda doing a ton of work with this Shojin build. The Gore Drinker keeping him alive, stopwatch for himself to keep himself alive. And on CFO, like, Shunn has flash, JimieN has flash. This time around, if we get that massive engage, the follow-up on CFO can actually come through.
If they can get the engage, and that's a big if. Both teams playing fantastic. I mean, like, the level of play feels absolutely matched in this third game. It feels like Team Wales have evolved over this series. CFO learning from their previous mistakes in game number 2, and now 10-10 on the scoreboard as we broach 30 minutes. 3 minutes until that Drake comes up, but the Baron is on the cards. Team Wales feels like once again in control of the river. Or at least were.
Be careful, yeah. Still, this is where JimieN can start to come alive. As long as he knows exactly where Team Wales are, he can position his soldiers, position behind his front line, and make himself all right. And that's why Team Wales are trying to find these little pockets of vision that they can play around for BeanJ to invade, B to look for something, but Rest is actually the one that snuck in behind them. They have no vision of where this Renekton is. Artemis starting to push up, which is now where Rest is going to go.
Yeah, flashing forwards, but instant reactions there from Shunn. Protects himself with the ultimate. Gemini, the target, turns golden. Rest is in a perfect spot to get into the fray, but actually, they just engage onto him instead. He has to dash away himself. JimieN hasn't been able to participate just yet. Might have to ult to protect his top laner, but doesn't. Holds on to the ability as Sparda now charges forward. ShiauC into the fray. BeanJ taken down. No, survives with the shield. In goes JimieN and down he falls. Team Wales, they found themselves the fight and they finally get ahead. But BeanJ, no! The blast cone betrays him. He gets out with his life. What's happening?
Gore Drinker! It's too strong. Gore Drinker keeps BeanJ alive. But still, Gemini wants to go, wants to try and find him, still have Gloryy over on the side. He doesn't know, he wants to try and bait for the kill onto Gemini, but they will back away. BeanJ, you can't really go for this flash up on Gemini very, very soon. Can he get it?
Oh, he gets it! Oh no, the Gore Drinker again! What on earth is going on? It's a battle between the junglers and Gemini comes out on top. But in the meantime, Team Wales, they're just going to try and end the game. Shunn still alive here. ShiauC buying time for his AD carry. A route onto Bia. The tower shot might just finish it, and it does. Artemis the next target, but he survives. Gold for Shunn. The shockwave in, and he finishes it. Gloryy! Wanting exactly that to his name, but they can't end the game just yet.
JimieN is up and available, so they have to back away. Team Wales, they put everything into trying to make that play happen, and now they're the ones that have to back away. CFO will be coming back on the map, no AD carry to speak of though, and this is where they end up spotting out Rest at the best time. They go over the wall, JimieN and Shunn very separated from the team again, whereas when you look at Team Wales, they're all positioned in the same spot. Sparda goes over the wall to Rest. Artemis is immediately there. Shunn and JimieN are trying to play catch up to this fight, which means that Artemis is positioned behind his front line at all times, and CFO are so split because they're trying to come in from too many different angles, and Team Wales are able to just play this slow and steady burn. And even there at the end, JimieN tries to make the play, but Shunn has already had to go over the wall with his flash. He can't be in a position to follow.
Team Wales taking the Baron on live right now. We can see a replay of ShiauC and Shunn, absolute heroics to save the game there. And a great little shockwave, perfectly timed, but it is Baron over to Wales. I feel like JimieN needed to use the ult a little earlier in that fight. He was trying to find the hero play, but honestly, you just got to escape the play at that stage.
Still though, this is so potentially here for CFO if they can get this. Fight for mid priority is crucial. Vision is nowhere to be found for Team Wales, but they find the pick.
Team Wales found their way onto the top laner here. Rest is tanky, surviving a long time here, and he actually dashes out over the wall. ShiauC in the meantime finds the engage. That's the ult that JimieN was looking for, and it's absolute carnage in the river. ShiauC though was too far forwards. He's surviving for now as Sparda goes forwards, and a stopwatch again. The feathers flying for Shunn as he pulls him back in. Sparda surviving, but the rest of his team obliterated. And just when it looks golden for the Wales, it's CFO that fly back in.
Getting smacked in the face by the Oyster. ShiauC Never mind, ShiauC making the play. Gemini wants to try and do it. He's trying to keep Sparda at bay. Screw the dragon. They want to end the game. Sparda, is he able to kill Gemini and TP back? Has the Baron recall. Gemini stops him again.
Nicely done. This is not Gemini's first jungle 1v1 in the last few minutes. Manages to stop Sparda resetting, and he'll stop there. He knows he'll die if he goes for any more, but that will be... Hang on. Sparda feeling cheeky with it, but he got spotted on a ward. He will have to reset. Dragon is up right now, and CFO are making a beeline for it.
There's no TP for Gloryy, though. TP is available for Sparda, immediately moving down onto this bot side. You are so low as CFO. No ultimate available for Shunn. JimieN going to TP back into the play as well.
He's here too soon. He's here too soon. They're going to just ult him, surely. In goes Gemini to try and start the fight off. Shunn has the damage to take down this Aatrox. Reinforcements arriving in the form of BeanJ, and they turn it around onto Shunn. The bird is not the word anymore. BeanJ trying to go forwards, but he's overstepped as well. It's disaster on both sides.
It has to be a JimieN carry. JimieN has to be the one to be the consistent damage in this one. Sparda reset, coming back out. No jungler available for Team Wales. They can't go for the steal. They have to go for the fight. Gloryy hiding on the bush, looking to rest. He needs to TP back into this play, otherwise this dragon is just going to be gone.
TP in, setting up for the dragon. Bit of damage onto Sparta, pulling onto rest here. They've got the damage to take him down. Artemis just free firing onto the top lane and flies into the backside and takes out JimieN. Artemis, queen of the hunt, goddess of the hunt, and king of the rift. Dragon is ignored. Team Wales run to the base.
They can already see it in their eyes. Super minion versus super minion. Sparda needs to try and clear this out. The last tick of the Baron buff is going to try and take them across the finish line. The PCS versus the VCS will be decided now.
It's Shunn and ShiauC once again to try and defend the Nexus. They did it once as ShiauC goes in looking for Gloryy here, but Shunn already lost half his HP. ShiauC's gone down this time. No stopwatch to save him. The feathers, they're not going to be enough. BS steps forward. He's happy to sacrifice himself. Gloryy steps on up for the rest of the team. They're taking down the Nexus. Shunn wants it. He's desperate for it, but he's denied. Team Wales, ever the underdog and ever out.